Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, 1984 Astros at Mets, classic version of replay baseball. It is 3-1 in the bottom of the sixth. Keith Hernandez, 3-1 Astros in the bottom of the sixth. Keith Hernandez just flied out, and here is George Foster against Mike Scott. Let's do it. You roll 2d6, and you read the black one first. That's a 1-1, so it's going to be a 2 on Scott's card and a 12 altogether. Column 1, a 12, and that is going to be a single to left. So George Foster strokes a single, played on a hop by Cruz, and there's a 1-out base runner. Here comes Darryl Strawberry. One swing from Darryl Strawberry could tie this ball game up. Astros are up 3-1. Here's a pitch, and we don't get that 6. We were looking for that 6. That's a 1 on the pitcher card, and it's a 4 altogether. Column 5, a 4. Ground ball to second base, halfway. Runners advance out at second. Out at second. It's going to be a fielder's choice. Bounce to second. Doran flips to Reynolds. No throw to first as Foster goes in hard. So 2 out, and here comes Mookie Wilson. And it's a 1, which is a 2 on the pitcher card, and a 5. It's going to be a 7. Column 1, a 7 is going to say pop up. Middle of the infield, and it's Doran and Reynolds come together, and it's Doran who calls him off to make the catch, and that retires the side. So Scott's going to become a beat pitcher now because he's gone 6. You see that number right there? That's a 6. So he's completed 6, so now he becomes a beat pitcher. Terrell can go 7, so he can go one more. We're in the top of the 7th inning. It's 3-1 Astros. Here's Bill Doran. That's a 2, a 2, and the 6 is a 52, column 2. And that's going to be a ground ball to the right side, picked up by Backman, sets his feet, and throws out Doran. Here's Mark Bailey, the catcher. And that's going to be a 4, which I don't even have to look because that's going to say F on the pitcher. But the 2 is going to be a 1. And the 2 also tells me it goes to the second baseman, who's like a 3, so that's going to be a ground out. Very quick. I'm using the tall pitcher cards, and that there's only one row, and that makes it very much quicker to play, much easier to play. It's very relaxing. Mike Scott is up here with 2 outs. Again, it's going to be a fielding situation, and a 5, that's really low. It's got to be around 12. So that's the 6 is a shortstop. Oh, no, actually, the 6 is second base, so it's another bouncer to Backman. Backman picks it up and throws out Scott to retire the side. All right, so Terrell went 7 now, so he's going to go to his B side. So we got both pitchers on their B side. And I play the older seasons because I like to do that. I like to let my pitchers pitch, basically. And that's why I play the older seasons. You can do the same. So it's going to be Hubie Brooks leading off. The bottom of the 7th for the Mets here at Shea. 1984. So it's a 5, that's a 4, and a 3 is a 10. And column 5, a 10 is going to be a base on balls, and then we have an F letter, and I'll show you how to do that. We go to the chart page that says on base chart. He's got an F, and the F is going to be here, and it may be a stolen base. We're going to let him run. See what happens. And it's a 4, which is a caught stealing, the throw down. Oh, no, and they got him. Brooks takes off. And it's going to be a 2-4. Caught stealing for Brooks. Too bad. We needed that stolen base right now. Stay out of the double play. Here's Mike Fitzgerald. And that's a 3, which is a 5 on the pitcher. And then it's going to be a 37, column 3. And that's going to be a drive in the gap. That's going to split the outfielders and roll to the wall. Digging for second is Fitzgerald. Here's the throw from Cruz and the tag from Doran, and he is safe. A 1-out double. And we're going to double check that. It's a 5. It's a 37, column 3, and a 37. It's going to be a double. Double to right. Okay, so the pitcher is we're going to see a pinch hitter now. And it's a lefty. So we're going to bring in a righty. We're going to bring in Gardner to pinch hit. And we're going to be warming up somebody. Here's Here's Gardner. Let's see. We'll see. We got a couple bodies out there. I can't look to see who I have that's ready right now. Well, I don't want to do that right now. So there's a couple bodies warming up out there. And it's Gardner with Fitzgerald at second base. The Mets are down 3-1 here in the bottom of the seventh. Mike Scott is on the mound. So there is some action in the Houston bullpen as well. So here's the pitch to the pinch hitter. And, it's going to be a 3-3. So that's going to be a 5. It's going to be a 10. Column 3, and that's a single to right field. Runners advance 1 base. So it's going to be first and third. And then I get an asterisk. And that asterisk is, I believe, tells me, if the batter reaches safely, the next base roll one is open, roll one die. If the higher than catcher's defensive rating is a stolen base, otherwise he holds. All right, let's look again at Bailey's defensive rating. Bailey is a 3, so if it's higher than a 3, he steals second. And it's not. It is higher than a 3, excuse me. So he does steal second base. That's what I meant to say. So again, we look at that. Those instructions, still learning this game. Roll one die. If the die is higher than the catcher's defensive rating, it's a stolen base. So it was a 6, so he steals second base. And let me see if there's anything out of there for any errors. No, not on that one. Okay, so Backman is up. Wally Backman, the leadoff hitter. What has Backman done today? We may see he's a switch hitter, so we may let let's see. Backman today is 0 for 3, batting 152. Met team batting average is 269, so fairly realistic. But Backman has not been hitting well, or much at all. So, but we are going to let him bat, and we're going to let Mike Scott pitch to him. So let's see what happens. We're looking right here on this side. Infield's going to be back, and it's going to be a 5, which is a 4, and a 4 is a 6, and that's going to be a base on balls. A 6, column 5 is going to be a base on balls. That's going to load up the bases, and that's going to be it for Mike Scott. He leaves us. Okendo is at the plate, and we are going to, who can we bring in? We're going to bring in if we bring in a, Gardner already is in there, and he can play shortstop. Okendo's up next, and Okendo is a little strategy here. He's a righty hitter. So if we bring in a righty with the Astros, they're just going to bring in Rusty Staub. If we bring in a lefty, they're going to probably let Okendo bat. So I'm going to bring in, but I don't want to bring in my lefty yet. So unfortunately, my lefty is DePino, and I don't want him to go, 2 and 2/3 innings. That's too far. So we're going to have to bring in a righty. And that righty is going to be 21 relief appearances. Let me see if I have Mike Lacoste available to come in. Mike Lacoste. Yep, I do. I have Mike Lacoste. So he's going to come in and pitch. He's going to be on his A side. And he can face 7 batters. So Lacoste comes in. And here comes Rusty Staub with the bases loaded. Mets are going to end up trading Rusty Staub and getting him back. And traded in the mid-70s, they traded him away for Mickey Lolich. He just couldn't play the field anymore. So Okendo's going to be replaced by Rusty Staub. With the bases loaded and 1 out, the Mets are down 3-1. And this is why we roll tabletop baseball. One of the reasons for these exciting situations. Mike Lacoste is going to come in. He's the righty. He's going to be facing Rusty Staub, the lefty. And we're going to roll our 2d6 and see what happens. So the infield's halfway. They're looking for that double play. They're willing to concede a run. They're up by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Oh, that's exactly what we wanted. The 6 is the power column. It's going to be a 1. Oh, man. And the 3 is going to be a 16. Rusty didn't hit a lot of home runs, I don't think, that season. So it's going to be a total of a 17 in column. And that's going to be a deep fly ball with runners on third and less than 2 out. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. So 1 run will come in. He flies out deep to right center field, and it's Mumphrey and Bass takes it, and that's deep enough to score a run easily. So it's 3-2 now, and here comes Keith Hernandez. So he's a lefty. We got a righty and then a lefty. So we again, we're stuck in a situation where we don't want to bring DePino up yet. Although we could bring DePino here and then bring Smith later for that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in DePino to face really the Mets' best hitter, Keith Hernandez. So let's go to the bullpen again. We're going to bring our ace, DePino. He's going to get us out of this jam here with the tying run at second base, and then later on in the ninth, we'll bring in Dave Smith to be the closer. All right, so here's Keith Hernandez. What has Keith Hernandez done today? That's the question. Keith Hernandez today has, he's 1 for 3. He's batting .352. First and second. At first, you got Backman. At second, you have Gardner. 2 outs. So this is big. See what happens. And that's a 5-4. That's a control column. That's a 3. And a 4 is going to be a 2. That's a 5. 5, column 5. This is going to be a ground ball to shortstop. And he flips to Reynolds, flips to Doran for the force, and that ends the inning. So Keith Hernandez bounces out to end the inning, but the Mets. And we're going to bring in, let's make Gardner the shortstop. Let's see how we can do this here. And then right here, Hernandez is going to be the shortstop. And then a pitcher is going to come in. And let's see my bullpen, who's available in the bullpen. Let me see. All right, I'm going to bring in Doug Sisk. So Sisk is going to come in. Sisk is going to come in. He's going to go into the second hole. And the shortstop is going to be Gardner. There it is. And we're ready. So let's bring in Doug Sisk from the Mets bullpen. These are they're called the tall pitcher cards. You always got to make sure you're on your A grade. You don't want to have him on unless he is required to be on his B grade. But when they come in, they're on their A grade. It's going to be Kevin Bass here in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 3-2 ball game. And let's do it. All right, it's a 5-6, so he's a 4. And the 6 is going to be a 31, column 5, 31, and that's going to be a fly ball, short left field. Racing in is Foster, and he gets there for the out. Bass flies out. Next is Craig Reynolds. Here's the pitch from Sisk. It's a 6. That's a 1, and a 2 is a 47, column 6. And a 47 is going to line drive, base hit to center field. So Craig Reynolds has a 46. Now that's going to allow him to make it into a double. And then he could make it into potentially, he could make it into a triple. I don't do the inside the park home run because that's just, it comes up too often. And you know that may happen once a year. You don't see those very often. So I kind of push that out. So let's see if he can get a double, roll one die against a defensive center fielder. So let's do that. If the die is not higher, play it as a single. Okay, it's a 4. I don't think it's higher. I think Wilson is a 4, actually. So let's see. Wilson is a 4, and he will cut that ball off and keep it to a single. All right, so here comes Cruz with 1 out and 1 on. Jose Cruz. Here's a pitch from Sisk. That's going to be a fielding column. So all you got to do is the 3, and it's a 17. And the 3 is going to be hit to third base, and that's Brooks. So the ball is pulled down, or actually he goes the opposite way to Brooks. And Brooks is a 3. So that's going to put us in 20 halfway. 20 halfway, and that's going to be a single off the infielder's glove, and that's going to put runners on first and second. So he gets a glove on it, but it kind of rolls away from him, and runners on first and second here for Jerry Mumphrey. So Sisk is in a little bit of a jam, if you will. He's going to be facing Mumphrey, runners on first and second, 1 out, top of the 8th, 3-2 Houston over the Mets at Shea Stadium, 1984. It's a pitch from Sisk. That's a 3. It's a 1 and a 6 is a 63, column 3. 63, column 3. Let's see what that's going to be. That's going to say a line drive, a single to center field. Runners advance 2 bases. If there's a runner on second, draws a throw at the plate. There's a runner on second. If there's a runner on second, he draws a throw to the plate. On the throw, the batter attempts to take second base. Row 1 die against the catcher's defensive rating. If the roll is higher, the batter slides into second base safely. If not, he is out. Okay, this is great. He's out center field, catcher to second base. So roll 1 die. If the die is higher, the batter slides safely. So it's got to be higher than a 3, I think it is. No, and he's going to be out at second base. So it's a base hit single. It's going to be a single. One runner will score. The other runner to third, and the other runner is going to be out at second base, and it's going to be 8, 2, 4. Assist. And he's out at second. There you go. So now we should have runners on third base with 2 outs. All right, but they pick up an extra run. So Sisk, it's a lot of run. And here's Cabell. And that's a 1, which is a 3, and a 3 on the batter. It's a 13, column 1, and that is going to be a base hit to center. Runners advance 1 base, but he's on third base, and that will score another run. So Sisk is struggling here. In the top of the 8th, he's allowed 2 runs. The score is 5-2 now. Here's Phil Garner. And that's a 6. It's a 1, and a 3 is a 17. And that's a fly ball. Gets a hold of one, drives it deep to left center field. On the run is Foster and Wilson, and Foster tracks it down to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the game. The Astros pick up a couple more runs. They lead it 5-2. All right, here's George Foster. What I'm doing is I'm playing a series every month, and then using the Replay PC sim engine to sim the rest of the games that month, and going to the next month and kind of playing from there, looking at the stats and getting a feel for what's going on, looking at the schedule, the standings, and all those things. All right, so I'm still playing through the season, but it's not taking me 3 years because I have like 7, 8 different replays going on, and I'll never finish them. So I'm going to have to try a different system. I still want to get a feel for the time period and for the for the players and their abilities, but I also want to play through seasons and not just leave everything hanging. I don't have to play every single at bat. All right, George Foster's leading off against DePino. Here goes. And that's a 5-2. So it's a 3, and a 2 is a 35, column 5. And that's going to be a strikeout. So he swings and misses for out number 1. Up next is Darryl Strawberry. Here's the pitch from DePino. And it's going to be a 4, which is a fielding column, and the 2 is a 1. The 2 is going to be the second baseman. That's a bounce out to Doran, and he throws out Strawberry. And here's Mookie Wilson. That's a 1, which is a 1, and a 4 is a 5, column 1. That's a strikeout, and that ends the inning. That was quick. 3 up, 3 down for DePino. And we're going to bring up Smith in that last inning. So Sisk is going to be out as well. And it's going to be Jesse Orozco coming in. So after this, I'll do 85. And I don't know how I'm going to do 86 because they don't have the sim engine for 86. So right, here's Bill Doran to lead it off. Top of the ninth inning. It's 5-2 Stros at Shea Stadium. Crowd is not happy. All right, it's a snake eye, so it's a 1 and a 1. So 21, column 1. See what that's going to read. And that's going to be a line drive single to center. Roll one die against center fielder's small error rating. If the die is higher, batter advances on extra base. 4, no, I don't think so. Let me double check. Wilson. His error rating is a 4, so it's not higher, so there's no error there. So if the die is higher, batter advances one base on an error. All right, so it's a base hit single. For Doran, he's on at first. Here's Bailey. And Bailey's going to bunt because then the pitcher's up next and we're going to have a pinch hitter. So let's bunt. All right. It's going to be it's bunted to the pitcher. Pitcher's defensive number is a 1. And the batter's sacrifice number is a 2. So that's a 3. That's going to be a bunted right back to Orozco. He's going to go to second for 1. No throw to first as Doran goes in hard. It's a fielder's choice. Bunt fails. And here's DePino. We're going to get a pinch hitter for him. And it's going to be a righty, Ray Knight. It's coming in to pinch hit. That's right. We'll get Ray Knight later on in the season. Actually, if you look at his card, and his card was really filthy and dirty, so I kind of made a copy of it for my own collection. Just didn't want to look at that dirty, filthy card. I got the original card in the back. Just it was like really dirty, so they must have, soiled it, had him leading off or something. So now it looks much nicer. All right, so Ray Knight's going to pinch hit against Jesse Orozco with a runner on first and 1 out. And here goes. Jesse Orozco's lights out, by the way. That's a 1. It's a 43, column 3. And that's going to be a line drive to left versus a lefty. It's going to be a single to left. Runners advance 2 bases. And 1 or 2. Bailey, I believe, is a 2. No, he's a 3, so he will make it to third base. So Mets relievers are not really shutting down the Stros at all. They're kind of giving up hits. All right, the top of the order. The Mets are going to have to play the infield in. And it's a 5, which is a 3, and a 2 is a 30. Column 5, 30. With the infield in. I don't want to give up any more runs, and that's going to be a fly ball, short center field. Not deep enough to move anybody. Oh, there's nobody on third. Wait a second. It was just first and it should have been first and third. Hold on a second. Let me just go back. Make that. There it is. Base hit. All right. Short center field for out number 2. Right there is Wilson. Bailey fakes it, but does not tag up. Does not have the speed for that. And here is Craig Reynolds, a lefty. Against Orozco. Jesse Orozco checks the sign with Fitzgerald. Mike Fitzgerald was the catcher for the Mets in '84. And here's the pitch. And that is a 4. It's 6, and that's a 5 to the shortstop, who's a 3. So Gardner is, what is he? Probably a 3. He's a shortstop. 3, that's right. Yeah, it's going to be an out. It's going to be a fielder's choice, and that retires the side. So we'll go to the last licks, bottom of the 9th for the Mets. And it's going to be Smith. Dave Smith. Love the font on these cards. It's a gorgeous font. You see that? Love that. Looks like somebody made them with a typewriter. All right. So Dave Smith is trying to close it out for the Stros. They're up by 5-2. Playing basic charts or basic game. That's what they had. Replaying 1984. Pretty, not really necessarily that basic. I mean, there are some, more advanced type of results and so forth. All right, so it's Huey Brooks leading off. And here goes. It's a 3-2. The 3 is a 1 and the 2 is a 3. And that is going to be a bounce out to the third baseman. Garner fires the first and gets his man 1 away. Here's Mike Fitzgerald. I don't pinch hit for everybody. I pinch hit usually for the pitchers or somebody who I know who has a lower batting average in a big situation. So I'm not pinch hitter crazy. So that's going to be a 2. And then it's going to be a 2 on the pitcher, and it's an 18, column 2. Let's see what that's going to be. And that's going to be a fly ball to left. Parking under it is Jose Cruz, 2 out. Now it's Gardner. And here goes. That's a 6 and a 1, so that's going to be a 3, a 19. That's a fly ball, right field in the gap, and Bass runs it down. And that should do it. Yes, sirree. That will do it. Ball game over. Fly ball to right. Just double checking everything in my box score, making sure all the pitchers got credit for coming in. And they did. And that's the ball game. This is Replay Classic. Astros, now the Astros are 15 and 11. The Mets are 8 and 16. They're really struggling. Let's see if I fast play through this month, they can get a little bit better. It was Mike Scott 1 and 1. Got the victory there. And Walt Terrell is going to be 2 and 2. Dave Smith picks up his 4th save. And we're going to play through with that. What day was this? This was Saturday. So I got to play one more game Sunday, and I'm thinking it's going to be Doc Gooden. That's going to be a fun game. Because as I learn this game better, it gets a lot more fun. It gets simpler, quicker, more fun. The nuances are great. There's a charm about this game that it's hard to replicate. There's some games that are just have no charm. They're just like straight up numbers on a card. This has translations that the language is just, very, I don't know, lively, spirited, passionate, emotional. It shows definitely an appreciation for the game and a love for the tabletop. All that. It's very unique experience playing this game. So I highly recommend you testing this out and going classic. I have actually the 69 set that I'm selling. It's not a classic set, but it's still a fun set. And let's see. And I will play the matrix, the picture matrix card as well with 36 spots. Let's see. Let's play through this day. And let's get to the next day and see what the pitching matchup is. I'm using, it's going to be Nolan Ryan, 2 and 1 versus Doc Gooden. You can't get a better game than that. Look at that. So let's start pulling Doc Gooden against Nolan Ryan Sunday. It is Sunday, May 6th. And then after this game, I'm going to play through the whole month with the sim, and then I'm going to look at their record and see how they do in the next month. And I'll play one series. I usually like to play Darling and Gooden. Yeah, that's going to be a fun. That's how I'm approaching this experience, because otherwise I'm just not going to have the time to play everything I want, all the games I want. So I'm going to have to kind of devise different systems. Time is finite in our life, and I want to have fun with a lot of different games. But I'm glad I'm playing this game. This game is a blast, and I highly recommend going out there and looking for the classic sets. And actually, one thing that's important to do is you turn your pictures over to the A side so you don't forget. You see, you want everybody on the A side. It's very important you do that. So then when you bring in relievers, you're already on their A side. You don't want anybody sitting on their B side, because you may forget, and it won't be fair to the pitcher. You'll do an injustice. So turn everybody to their A side. You come in on your A side and you become your B side, depending on the batters you face. Okay, everybody's on their A side. Good. And then we're looking for Nolan Ryan's there. He's on his B side, so we're checking that. We're turning on his A side. There it goes. All right. And of course, now I'm going to play actual lineups, if possible. Not always possible. Not every John Smith is always available. But it's going to be, usually the nice thing about the older seasons is that everybody is the same. Enos Cabell's batting fifth, Garner, Doran, Bailey, and then of course it's Nolan Ryan. So we're going to pull Ray Knight, who's a pinch hitter. And for the Mets, let's see, it's going to be Backman, Okendo, Heap. Heap is going to play. So then it's going to be, Hernandez not playing. It's going to be Foster, Strawberry, Wilson, Brooks, Fitzgerald, and then pitcher. So all we got to do is grab one guy, Danny Heap, and we put him in the third hole, and that's it. And the Astros are at the Mets. And this is, I guess, game 4. The Astros are up 2-1, I believe, in the series. And we're ready for our next game. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. I hope you enjoyed the presentation of what was, for pretty much a long time, a very cool game. And by the way, I'm sorry for that shininess, but again, you can see that I protect my cards, certain players, particularly with these Ultra Pro card sleeves. I got, you can buy them for about $3-4 for 100, and that's how I do it. Take care, guys.